Hello, my name is Becky. Welcome to my FlossTube. Today is June 8th, and it's a beautiful, warm day in Denver, Colorado. Well, I believe it's been since Thanksgiving since I've recorded. And so for those of you who are new, I welcome you. And for those of you who are longtime viewers, hello, and I've missed you. We've been staying with my daughter in Denver while we relocate since October. She's been very gracious to let us stay with her and very patient with her. Of course, she had really hoped we would be buying a home here in Colorado, but that didn't work out. We wanted a one-level house, and we just couldn't find anything here, and the prices were pretty high. So we bought a house from a friend of ours back in Athens, and we are excited to move back there. We're excited to move back to Texas, to a town that we're familiar with, and we have friends and a church, and my parents are nearby, so that will be happening in 3 weeks. If I haven't already mentioned it, this is FlossTube number 24, and on my channel you will find a lot of cross stitch, some quilting, some knitting, and maybe a few other crafts thrown in. If these are things that interest you, then stick around, and I hope you'll find some inspiration. I always learn from you guys, and I'm always inspired by you, and it's good to be back. The first thing I'm going to talk about are some things I've finished since January, or since the last podcast, and 2 of them are at Total Framing. I'm expecting to hear from them any day for shipping information. The other 2 are not framed, but I'll frame them when I get back to Texas and my sewing/craft room is all set up and I can find all the tools I need to frame them. Here are some pictures of them. I couldn't find my Prairie Santa or the Woodland Santas. I believe I must have packed them already to go to Texas, but I do have Miss Bingley's library here in my very worn out copy. I love Jane Austen, and Miss Bingley's library is taken from Pride and Prejudice. And Miss Bingley is not actually the superstar. She is the sister of Mr. Bingley, who's in love with Jane, and she's very sarcastic, and she's trying to win the heart of Mr. Darcy. So she says, "I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library." The first time I read this book, I was backpacking in the late 80s, and I fell in love with Jane Austen, but I found it difficult to read initially, but soon grew to really love British lit, and you get used to reading it. But here she is. There's Miss Bingley on the roof, And British flag. And there she is. I actually had the choice of stitching the St. George's cross or the addition of the St. Patrick's cross. And I don't really know the difference. So I went with St. George's. So if you know the difference, I believe what happened was when England made Ireland, when they ruled over Ireland, they put the additional crosses right there. Let me show you on the back. Right here like this, which I believe is a Union Jack now, but the Irish wouldn't recognize it. So if you know anything, I know some of you are British, I would love to know more about that. Leave me a comment. That would be very interesting. All right, next up, I have moved into my focus board for the summer. I'll show you the 3 pieces I'm doing. This is Baltimore Saltbox by Brenda Gervais. I've actually bought the box that it goes on. The lid slides on and off, and I will have to finish that. And then this right here is Constellation, a new Constellation by Paulette Stewart. You may remember that I did the Heritage Sampler a few years ago. This is a companion piece, and this is the story of Betsy Ross and the making of the first flag. And I'm really excited about it. I'm reading a couple books about Betsy, and I bought a box that this is going to go on top of. This one is actually Betsy's House by Paulette Stewart. That will go on top of the box, and I have some goodies I'm going to put inside of that. And as I go along on this and film more, which I hope to do real soon, it's just been very difficult at my daughter's house to film. But when I'm back in my own space, I'll go back to regular filming. And I'll be in my own space in 3 weeks. So as I stitch this sampler right here, I'm going to explain what each of these mean, along with maybe some additional facts I have found out by reading about her. And I have some special goodies I'm putting inside here, but I'm not going to tell you about that now. I'll tell you about that later. So this is my summer focus board. This is arriving in the mail today, I believe. But these are the 3 things I want to have finished by the end of the summer. So, first up is the Baltimore Saltbox. Hold on a minute. And I have these threads for it, which are just, they're so pretty. I wasn't sure about tomato for the red, but I'm just gonna go with it because Brenda is a genius when it comes to colors. And I have it on one of my new patriotic thread keeps. It's a helium balloon, I think is what this part is up here. And in the basket, there's Uncle Sam, and there's 2 Victorian ladies. On the balloon, it says July 4th, and it says, "The day we celebrate." So those are the threads for Baltimore Saltbox. And here's what I have so far. Let me take this pin out under here. I'm stitching this on 28 count Mushroom Lugana by Zweigart. And I'm stitching it 1/1. And I think it looks pretty good. I really like stitching 1/1 on Lugana. The stitches are just so teeny tiny and just so evenly spaced because it's an even weave. So that's Baltimore Saltbox. I started that on Friday, I believe. The next one is Constellation, a new Constellation. Hold on, I need to get the book out for you and all the threads. My threads are a mess. I'm really glad that Paulette is throwing in a lot of DMC these days along with over dyes. These are a mess. But here are these colors. Put it on top of this. And this is my old Betsy Ross thread keep. I've since replaced it with a brand new one. So there's Betsy. And pattern is right here. The new Constellation. I'm not going to explain it yet, but I will as I get a band finished. It's beautiful. I started this on Memorial Day with my friend Christine, Hollis Hands Create, or McMama Hollis. She stitched this last year, and so this year she's stitching the Heritage Sampler, and I'm stitching this one. And then next Memorial Day, we're both going to stitch the Equality Sampler together. So our goal is to finish by Labor Day. She wants to get hers finished. We're both going to a retreat together in Kansas City. I'm going to forget the name of the quilt shop. I want to say Quilters Junction. Anyways, we're going to a retreat there in September. And the designers that will be there are, let's see, Barb and Alma from Blackbird Designs. Hello, Liz. The daughter, Kathy Barrick. Chelsea and me. And it was supposed to be the Scarlet house, but she canceled, and Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery, will be replacing her. So if any of you guys are going, let me know. I would love to meet you guys. Just drop me a note. So that's a new Constellation. And when Martha's house arrives, I will start her. So that's my summer focus. Next up, I will talk to you about all the SALS that I'm in and the things I'm stitching with friends that are in no hurry to get finished. But nonetheless, I am stitching on them with friends. Okay, these are all the SALS that I'm in, or some of them are SALS And a couple of them I'm just stitching with other friends. So here we have it. On Mondays, I'm working on the Berry Bowl by Heartstring Samplery and the Scarlet House, a collaboration. I'm stitching half that I will give to my friend Amy. Amy loves toads, and she will give me the same piece back, and I'll stitch them together, and we will both have a little bit of each other's stitching. So that's on Monday. On Wednesdays, I work on the Reverend Ghourdon Squashbottom during the day, and I'm stitching that with Pumpkin Hollow Quilts Olivia, Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, and Yvette. Yvette, I don't remember what your Instagram name is, but I'm stitching this with those ladies, and it will be done for Halloween or for the fall. On Wednesday nights, I'm stitching Walter, which is Ann Thomas, a Hands Across the Sea sampler. And I'm stitching that with my friend Christine. And our friend Robert Harris just joined us. He's in our guild. Only he's going to be done way before us. And Christine's going to be done way before me. Because this, my friends, is confetti. And let's see, Friday nights, I work on the Village of Heartstring Hollow. And I'm working on that with my friend Barb. We stitch together every Friday night. She's working on the the houses of Heartstring Hollow. And I'm working on the village. And then this up here is the Traditional Stitches Stitch Along, led by Rose Heck. And it is for the 20th anniversary of Traditional Stitches up in Canada. And I'm a bit behind on that, but I'll show it to you. And I like to work on samplers on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, let me show them to you. So Monday is Berry Bowl Monday, if you want to join Amy and I. And I was doing so well. Oh, I don't want to show you my burn. I burned myself pretty bad on the stove the other day. Gas range. So this is the Berry Bowl, and I was really doing well, really proud of myself because I was halfway through the side that I was going to send to Amy when I started thinking she was working on the other side. And I thought, wait a minute, I think I started on the wrong side, which I did. I know she and I talked about it, but in one ear and out the other. So here's the other side. I just started it. And she's a good ways down. So that's the Berry Bowl. That will be a super special sentimental piece. Amy's in a group of ladies that I Zoom with on Tuesday nights. And she's just sweet as she is on FlossTube. We have a lot of good laughs, that group. Okay, so next would be Tuesday. Hold on a minute. I need to go get the Reverend Ghourdon Squashbottom. Don't you just love that name? I just wanted to stitch them because I love saying the Reverend Ghourdon Squashbottom. This is a piece by Notforgotten Farm. Right here. And Ghourdon is spelled like a gourd. which is what I guess a pumpkin is. So that's by Notforgotten Farm. It's stitched all in DMC. Here are the DMCs. Well, mine is stitched all in the DMCs. Let me see if she has another. Nope, she just lists DMCs. So here they are. And I have it on my cute little quilt that I need to finish up soon, so I can have it for next fall. And here is what I have so far. This is stitched on 32 count natural linen that I got at Hobby Lobby. And there's the Rev. Isn't he a handsome fella? But he's not quite as handsome as Walter. I'm going to be showing you Walter in a minute. He's a lot of fun, and he's just nice to pick him up once a week. Next up is Walter. I've been getting a late start on him this last month every Wednesday night, and that's why everybody's ahead of me. So Walter is a sampler by Hands Across the Sea. It's Ann Thomas, 1854. And I believe Kitten Stitcher was the one who nicknamed him Walter. So we have a Walter Wednesday Sal, if you want to join us. I did not iron him, so sorry. And here is what I have so far. He's a pretty, pretty bird. And I love him oh so much. Whoops. But my friends, that's a lot of confetti. Especially, I did this part last week, and whew. So I love him. He's going to be stunning when he's framed. May take 2 years, but he's pretty. In fact, to tell you the truth, I really don't think I could handle stitching on him more than once a week. It's like needlepoint. And I'm stitching him in all the called for Averiswa silks. And he hangs on my Walter thread keep. Okay, so let's see. Friday night, I stitch with Barb, and we are stitching in Hawk Run. There's a lot of people, I think, working on Hawk Runs. Let's see. I did finish the grist mill, and I want to retake my photo that I have that I use for my thread keeps. It's my favorite block. And then that one I know I've done since I spoke to you last. Probably done this one in the middle too, I'm not sure. And now I'm working on this one. Check out the teeny tiny horse and the teeny tiny man and woman. And this one is, let's get the picture out. I'm glistening. It's a little warm up here. Okay. This is, and the mountain grasses, low and sweet, grow in the middle of every street. This is the one right here that I'm working on. So, I don't know. I may be done by my birthday, October 25th. And this was a birthday start a couple years ago. So we'll see. Alrighty, and the last SAL that I stitch along is the one with traditional stitches. Another Hands Across the Sea. And I'll tell you why I'm delayed. So here it is. I ordered initially the 47 count linen and the 100.3 silks that come in a spool. Right here. I have it in a lipstick caddy. And I started it and got about this far. You see how teeny this is on 47 count, which I absolutely love, but which I dreaded stitching on every week. So I started over, and that put me behind. But here it is on, let's see, I know this is an Access Commodities. It's 40 count. Wait. Did I do that? Yeah, actually this is not an Access Commodities. This was a piece of linen I had that was 40 count, and don't know if I wrote that down. I probably did not. But I enjoy stitching it on 40 count using the silks. They work just fine. And she'll get done by the end of the year. I keep saying every month I'm going to catch up, but Rose has divided out, and I guess right now, let's see, I guess right now we're supposed to be doing this, or maybe this, I don't know, but this is where I am. Pretty piece. And I love the silks. This is a Scottish sampler. And the next time we get together, I'm going to talk to you about my Scottish samplers, because I've collected quite a few patterns, and I'm planning on having a Scottish sampler wall. I've got 4 in progress. One's down in Texas. But I'm going to show these to you next time. And that is all I have to share with you. It's a lot. I've got a lot I'm stitching. Try not to feel overwhelmed by that, because I am trying to get my whips work down. But I just can't resist the opportunity to stitch with a friend. It just makes it so much funner. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you liked this and enjoyed it. I hope you come back again. I hope I come back again soon. I really have missed doing this, and I really want to get back into the habit of doing it. At the end here, I'm going to give you a little bit of a life update. I don't know what I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you that I'm getting ready to close the shop, and I probably will be out of pocket for 5 weeks as I get moved and get settled. I'm gonna put in some thread keeps at the end here that are patriotic that will be coming into the shop. The shop is closed right now, but I do want to try to make one more run before we leave. We'll see. I've got quite a few I'm working on right now. So thank you for stopping by. I know I've left out a lot of information, but you know me, I don't write down an outline of what I'm gonna do. So you guys take care. Leave me a comment, and I will see you soon. Bye.